Okay, so today we're really diving deep and
Diving deep.
yeah, into Athol Fugard
That's right.
and specifically Master Harold and the Boys. And
Yeah.
we've got some really cool source material, right? This guide that breaks down like the art of analyzing
Yes.
texts and performance,
Mm.
which is perfect for something like Master Harold and the Boys
Right.
because there's a lot to unpack there.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, this play is set in a apartheid era. South Africa deals with themes of racism, power, and
Obviously, yeah.
human relationships. So much going on.
Yeah, for sure. And Fugard himself, just starting with him,
Yes.
he's a fascinating figure. I mean, living in South Africa during apartheid,
Mm-hmm.
and his plays were
Oh, so powerful.
more than entertainment.
Absolutely. I mean, he was really using theater to kind of fight back against injustice,
Right.
which is pretty incredible. I mean, he even started a theater group
Oh, wow.
called the Serpent Players,
Okay.
and it was specifically to tackle social issues.
Wow. And did he write all the material?
I'm not sure if he wrote all of it,
Yeah.
but I'm sure he had a hand in a lot of it.
Yeah, yeah. What are some of his more famous plays?
Oh, well, Sizwe Banzi is dead,
Okay.
and then The Island.
Oh, I've heard of that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both really great.
Okay. And those are also,
Kind of about, giving voice to the voiceless
Right.
during that time.
yeah, very cool. And then his later works, did they shift at all?
Yeah, they kind of shifted toward this, like, reconciliation and reflection.
What?
Like, it was almost like he was kind of
He was changing.
growing and changing.
Yeah, with the times.
With South Africa, with himself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very cool. And, I mean,
That's interesting, man.
that idea, it's so powerful.
Yeah.
That theater can...
Affects social change.
Exactly, yeah. And it really feels like he understood that.
Oh, absolutely. It was at his core.
Yeah,
It was what drove him.
for sure. Okay, so getting into Master Harold and the Boys itself,
Yeah.
how does he craft this story?
Well, it's really interesting because he's very smart with how he uses story and plot.
Oh, okay.
So story is everything that happens, right?
Right.
But plot is what he chooses to show us.
Oh, so he's deciding.
He's curating the experience.
Wow.
Yeah. And he uses this classic, like, linear structure. You have the exposition, rising tension,
Okay.
climax, resolution.
I've heard of that, yeah.
But he still kind of plays with our expectations, right?
Yes, how so?
Well, he does this three-part structure.
Okay,
So it starts with Sam and Willie alone,
right.
and they're kind of setting this intimate mood.
Okay.
And then Hallie enters.
And what happens?
Oh, everything changes. Like, all the energy shifts.
Really?
Yeah, we're kind of thrown into this conflict.
Oh,
And then in part 3, we go back to Sam and Willie alone. So
Yeah.
it's like bookends, right?
oh, interesting.
Picking up the pieces.
And it's all happening in one setting, right?
Single setting. Continuous time.
It's very
no
good.
subplots.
It's good.
Intense,
Yeah.
focused.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's part of what makes it so...
And we really feel that tension, I imagine.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
You're kind of trapped with these characters.
Right, right.
And speaking of the characters,
Yeah.
there's this idea of analyzing them on these 4 levels.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Physical, social, psychological, moral.
Like an onion.
It is like peeling back the layers of an onion.
Yeah.
So, we see their appearance, their place in society, but then also, like, their thoughts, desires,
Right.
fears.
And
and then you see their choices, right?
And their choices kind of reveal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's the moral compass.
And so is it always clear, like, who the good guy is, who the bad guy is?
I mean, this guide mentions the protagonist and antagonist.
Right.
And it's interesting because it's not always clear.
Because people are complex, right?
Exactly. People are complex.
Yeah.
So, like,
Yeah.
Haley, he's a really interesting character because
Okay.
he's got this mix of, like, vulnerability and cruelty.
So he's got both.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But he's a product of his time,
Yeah.
his society. But he also wants more.
He wants more.
He wants to connect.
Yeah. That makes me think of something else the guide mentions.
Okay.
This idea of register and diction in the dialogue.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And like how they speak,
And a vernacular.
Vernacular.
So, like, how Holly might change how he's talking.
depending on who he's talking to.
Exactly. So, like, he might use, like, formal language with Sam.
Okay.
But if he's angry, he might be more coarse.
Really?
Yeah. So Fugard's really using language
To show us.
to reveal the character.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, dialogue is so important in a play.
Yeah, because it's the main way we get information.
Yeah, it's the heart.
Yeah.
It drives the plot, reveals character. It establishes the world.
And in Master Harold, I mean, it's just so raw,
Oh, it's so powerful.
so charged.
Yeah.
You can like feel that tension, I imagine.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, it has to be a play.
It couldn't be a movie.
No, I think it needs that immediacy,
The rawness.
that rawness of the stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. What about symbols?
Oh, yeah. So, we talked about the whites only bench.
Right. And that seems so simple, but it's not, right?
It's so simple, but it's so heavy
Yeah.
in the context of the play. It really represents like
Political system.
apartheid
Yeah. And
segregation.
there's that line that Sam says,
Oh, tell me about it.
you know what that bench means now, and you can leave it any time you choose.
Wow.
So what you have to do is stand up and walk away from it.
Right. And I think he's talking to Hallie, but also
To us.
yeah, like what are the benches in our own lives?
Right?
And that's part of what makes it so
Powerful.
enduring. Yeah.
Yeah. There are other symbols too, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like ballroom dancing.
Ballroom
parrot
dancing.
flying.
Yeah, these simple things that become really profound.
And that's part of realism, right?
That's realism.
Which is the style of this play.
Exactly. So realism tries to show us like a slice of life.
Oh, okay.
Small cast, unified setting, personal conflict.
And it feels very real.
It feels very real.
Even though these themes...
Huge
Yeah.
racism, power, human dignity.
Yeah. Big stuff.
Big stuff.
And he makes it work by grounding it.
By grounding it. Yeah. In that time, that place,
So we see how...
it affects everyday people.
Yeah. So what's it all mean?
That's the question, right?
What's the takeaway for
Yeah.
someone experiencing this?
I think Fugard is asking us to ask ourselves the hard questions.
Okay.
Like, what does it mean for us to stand up from the bench?
Right.
How do we fight injustice?
Yeah.
How do we break these cycles of hate?
And that's why it still matters.
That's why it matters.
To this day.
Yeah. It's not just about apartheid. It's about,
Humanity.
yeah, human nature.
Our
and
choices of those choices.
Exactly.
Yeah. Wow. Well, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you for having me.
It was really enlightening.
Oh, it was my pleasure.
Yeah. This has been The Deep Dive.
This deep dive.
I encourage all of you out there to experience Master Harold and the Boys. Read it. Watch it. You will not regret it.
It's an experience.
It's an experience.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you. Teatop, te I.